What's going on, guys? My name is Aldenero and welcome to episode 86 of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off with a match against Aston Villa at Villa Park, and we're trying to sort of recover our form that we had from like last week, pretty much. I mean, we're not doing badly in the league per se because we are undefeated, but we have too many draws. I think we can see too many goals, and more importantly than that, Hector Villalba is not firing on all cylinders, and we really need that to change because last season he had like 1.2 goals per game, maybe. That's probably not correct at all. I can't really do maths at all, but this season he doesn't really have that, and it's a real shame, and it's really starting to irk me, and I really need to find a fix for that. But in the 27th minute, Tom Ince comes forward and he does actually give us the lead, and it's really good that he's done that because it's the second goal that he scored from a similar position. I mean, he scored one against Man United at Old Trafford in the Capital One Cup just from doing a basic Ronaldo chop inside and shooting with his left foot, because goals has never been something that he's been able to add to his game due to his poor finishing, but that seems to be changing now, and that's pretty exciting because he could become a huge fixture in the team. Also, his value is currently set at 15 million as well. He's gone up to, I think, 83 rated, so that's pretty cool too. But Carlos Sanchez did equalise for Aston Villa in the 34th minute, and I knew it was coming. It was one of those chances that as soon as he got into the box, I just knew he was going to batter it into the back of the net. But Villa, through a corner in the 48th minute, created a kind of an elaborate passing move that Silla put wide, and they would get another corner kick just 2 minutes later with Gardner passing it to Kieran Clark, who plays it into Carlos Sanchez, who goes for the finesse shot, and it's saved, and we do eventually manage to clear it. But Villa definitely looking menacing. We come up to 2 minutes after that once more with Alexander Tonev on the ball, who plays it into Gary Gardner, who goes for the strike, and it goes just wide of the post. Obviously Gary Gardner, a former Leicester player who I kind of wish we had back at the club, but he wanted to leave. But we made some substitutions in the 59th minute, bringing on Jeffrey Schlupp, and I think it was Jonathan Williams it was, actually. I knew it was one of them players with that weird white coloured hair. But immediately after the substitution, Hector Villalba does really well on the left-hand side. He plays it into Jeffrey Schlupp, who turns and with his first touch of the game manages to give us the lead with a really, really nice goal, and a really well-worked goal. And I was actually surprised by how easy it was to do that. But Jeffrey Schlupp is definitely a player that we just need to keep at the club. I hope he gets over this homesickness, because it just would be a shame to lose the last player from the original squad, because I don't know, I'm a big fan of his. But Villa did come forward once more in the final few minutes of the game with Brian Ruiz on the ball as he chips it in towards Tonev. It comes out to Benteke, or as Martin Tyler calls him, the dangerous Benteke. Every single time. When did he change his first name to the dangerous? Because I don't remember that happening. But that's how the game ended, a 2-1 victory for us, which is pretty good. And like, it's not a sign of us changing the style of football that we're playing or anything like that, but it is good to pick up a victory like that, because it feels as if all we've had lately is draws, and I don't really know why that is as such. But our next game is against QPR, and they have a pretty good team. They've added this new player, Makienok, or whatever his name is, up front, and he's doing quite well for them. We've also got Junior Hoylett and Leroy Fer, who are two really good midfielders in this game, and a good balance of great technical ability and pace with the two of them. But in the 15th minute, Julian Brandt comes forward. His shot goes just wide of the post, and I was really sure it was going to finesse into the corner for some reason, because Brandt's been doing quite well with that basic Ronaldo chop, which I think seems to be a little bit more powerful than before. But I don't know, I kind of tend to really overuse the Ronaldo chop sometimes, and oftentimes it can actually have a negative impact on my style of play. But in the 45th minute of this game, Yassine Benzia chips the ball into Villalba with a great assist for the first goal of the game inside stoppage time. A really good ball in from Benzia, and that was really good to see, because he hasn't really done much for us so far. He's only got that one goal. But in the 54th minute of this game, Adiotti came forward for QPR, and he did manage to find the back of the net with a shot in the near post, and I thought that was like a really basic shot, like that Jack Butland should be saving. But as well as that, we should have had the left back over there. I can't remember if it was I think it was Braggy playing in this game. But just past the hour mark, QPR came forward once more with Matt Phillips on the left hand side, absolutely obliterating Jenkinson, or maybe it was Byram, I can't remember. But the ball came into to that Markeniok fellow, whatever his name is, and he hit off the crossbar. We went into a counter attack with Brandt picking out Villalba on the left hand side of the pitch as he takes on Christian Gamboa, obviously a former Leicester player. Then Villalba gets into a great position and goes for the shot. Sadly, it didn't find the back of the net, and we got a corner kick from it, which Tom Ince swings inwards. It gets cleared away by the defence, but only as far as Sam Byram, who sets his sights from distance but sees his shot go sadly just wide. That's how the game ended. Another draw to add to the tally for the season, which I was quite frustrated with, to be honest, because QPR are a team that we know we can beat, because we've done it ever since the first season. I think the first season we drew with them and lost to them, and every season after that we just got victories and victories and victories. So that's the first time that's happened in a long time. But our next game is against Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League, and we were hoping to get a win here naturally to overtake them in the group, and then hope elsewhere that Celtic and Sporting Lisbon would play out a draw, just so it would look really good for us getting into the next round, and all we would need in Lisbon would be a draw at that point. We've gone with an attacking team because I actually spent the final 30 minutes of the game against Dortmund in a 4-2-4, and I didn't want to start off with a 4-2-4, but I did want to start off on the offensive because look at their team. They've got Marco Reus, Mkhitaryan and Blaszczykowski. They've got Gundogan, Bender and Daniel Sturridge inexplicably placed up front for them. But in the 11th minute of this game, Villalba picks the ball up. He takes round Ginter with ease and then gets into a position round Socrates, and he finds the back of the net to set us off on the right foot, giving us the lead. The crowd went mental, and you can see all the players come up to celebrate, and I think that's really, really cool because it is definitely an important goal, and it is one that we really need in terms of our advancement from this group, which is something that we really do need to aim for. If I could win the league and the Champions League this season, that would be brilliant, because I think it'd be good to leave Leicester having won the Champions League, even though it would be absolutely ridiculous to have done that in just 5 seasons. But what are you going to do? That's just the nature of this game and the way that it is. But in the 28th minute, Marco Reus came forward and he plays the ball into Daniel Sturridge, who did get a shot on goal. It was saved by Butland in the end, but before it could be cleared, Gundogan almost had another shot, but Andrew Robertson floored him, and I thought that was worth showing. Then just past the half hour mark, Marco Reus picks the ball up on the right hand side of the pitch. His cross finds Sturridge, whose header can only hit off the crossbar, and then he lays it off to Mkhitaryan, who really disappointingly for them shoots it well wide despite having an almost open goal at that point. In the 47th minute, I think it was Gundogan who had that shot, and it was saved by the keeper. And then 4 minutes later we came forward with Emre Can playing the ball into James Ward-Prowse, who was in a good position, but his shot was saved by the keeper, and we got nothing from the rebound because it was cleared away. This game actually made me realise that I do quite miss the this save I had where I was managing Dortmund. Like, I had some really good games and some really good times, like adapting to that squad and building it up and stuff. Like, it was pretty fun managing Dortmund. Maybe I'll revisit them before FIFA 15 ends. I think that would be a pretty good thing to do. But in the 74th minute, Gundogan picks the ball up and plays it into Nuri Sahin, who finds Sturridge, who lays it off nicely for Marco Reus, who finds Mkhitaryan, who plays it into Piszczek, and Piszczek's shot goes just over, but it could have dipped in, and it was a really good example of how quickly they tend to pass the ball when they go forward. Then in the final 10 minutes of the game, there was way too much space provided on this left hand side when Schmelzer picks the ball up. Bayram running towards him doesn't get a touch of the ball, and Reus heads it down for Gundogan, who goes for the shot from distance, and it's palmed away by Jack Butland, and we tried to clear it and launch a counter attack, but Nuri Sahin had other ideas as he dispossesses Villalba, and the ball comes to Sturridge, who crosses it into Ramos, and a fantastic save from Jack Butland keeps our dream of progressing from this group alive. And then Schmelzer picks the ball up and plays it to Socrates, who's in a very advanced position with his high attack and work rate. The ball comes to Leite, who eventually gets it clear, and Jeffrey Schlupp plays an amazing ball over the top for Villalba, who gets in ahead of Gundogan, who isn't a defender at all, and Villalba gets into a great position to wrap the game up, but sadly he just cannot do it. But we got a free kick about 8 minutes later with Villalba stepping up to take it, and I was trying to figure out where to put it. I put it straight on Jeffrey Schlupp's head, and it goes over Hugo Lloris and into the back of the net to give us a 2-0 lead, and to pretty much conclude that we would be the victors in this game, which is just incredible. Like, that goal as well is so stupid. I can't believe that Hugo Lloris let it go over his head. But we had a really, really similar one with James Ward-Prowse scoring against who was it? It was Liverpool in a previous game. But Dortmund came forward once more all the way up in the 90th minute. We eventually managed to clear that as well, with Jonathan Gomez doing really well to play the ball to Villalba, who finds Bertrand Traore in an attacking position, who does quite well to get round Ginter ahead of the sliding tackle and then play the ball into Koyate, who was in a very advanced position, and he did manage to find the back of the net with an easy finish to wrap up this game and comprehensively pick Dortmund apart and beat them, which is just an incredible result because they are a great team. In real life, they might not be amazing now, and the chances of them getting to the Champions League look pretty slim for next season. But we did find out that Celtic and Sporting did play out that draw as I'd hoped, so cheers to Celtic for doing that. I hope they beat Dortmund on the last day so that they can finish third, because I've decided that we're going to beat Sporting no matter what, because I want that top spot in the group. And as you can see from this group table, we are in a really good position to do that, and I think we actually did a fantastic job of actually turning that group around, because we started it off without a win in our our first 3 games, like, which is just really, really bad form. And I just think turning it around when we had messed up the game against Celtic, which we lost, and the draw against Sporting, and we used the Dortmund games as the ones to actually find form, which is just pretty good. But that's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.